Hello everyone, my name is Shravani Deshmukh from first year MBBS 2019 batch. I will be explaining about the physiology of receptors, which is the topic of CNS, Central Nervous System, of the first year subject physiology. I will be explaining this our topic under 5 headings. First, introduction, then classification of receptors, then cutaneous receptors, what are cutaneous receptors, then electrical and ionic events occurring in the receptors, and finally the properties of receptors. So what are receptors? Receptors are basically the specialized modified nerve terminals or nerve endings of sensory nerves which sense the changes in external environment as well as in internal environment and gets depolarized, that is produce action potential and delivers that information, that is stimulus, to the central nervous system. So the basic function of receptors is to convey the information from external environment to the central nervous system for processing and further responses. Thus, the receptors act as transducer. Transducer means a device which converts different forms of energy into another form of energy. This receptor act as a transducer which convert different forms of energy like light energy, sound energy, mechanical energy means touch and pressure, to the electrical form of energy, that is electrical impulses, and delivers this information to the central nervous system. Thus receptors are of different types: mechanoreceptors, thermoreceptors. We will study them. Now the classification of receptors. Receptors are mainly classified according to 3 types. The first is according to the type of stimulus. Under this heading, the receptors are classified as mechanoreceptors, means which respond to the vibration, touch, pressure. The second are chemoreceptors or chemical receptors, which respond to the changes in chemical constitution of the environment, like change in carbon dioxide concentration, hydrogen ion concentration. Also, the chemical receptors are responsible for taste and smell. The next are nociceptors, which are responsible for the noxious stimuli, that is the stimulus which causes danger or injury to the body. The fourth are thermoreceptors, which are responsible for degree of warmth or temperature. And the fifth one is photoreceptor, which are responsible for vision, light, like rods and cones in the retina. Okay. Then the second type of classification is general or anatomical classification. Under this head comes the 3 types of receptors. The first is special senses, that is which are specialized for only one type of sensory information, like eye for vision, ears for hearing. From the special senses, the information is carried by cranial nerves to the brain. The second one are cutaneous or superficial senses, receptors, which are distributed all over the body. The information from cutaneous receptors is taken by cutaneous branches of spinal nerves. And the last one of this second type is deep receptors or visceral receptors, which are located inside the body and sense the changes in internal environment of the body, like GIT, respiratory tract, reproductive tract, etc. The final type of classification is Sherrington's classification, or according to the environment sensed by the receptors. In this type are included teloreceptors, means which are responsible for the stimulus at some distance, like smell, vision, hearing. The second type of Sherrington's classification is exteroreceptors, like responsible for touch, pressure, vibration, means direct contact to the body. The final type of Sherrington's classification is interoreceptors, means receptors which are located inside the body. These are responsible for various stimulus and changes occurring inside the body, like in circulatory system, GIT, respiratory system, etc. Now we will briefly see the cutaneous receptors. Cutaneous receptors are the receptors situated in the skin and distributed all over the body. The sensory information from cutaneous receptors, as we all know, is carried by spinal nerves. These are mainly unmyelinated, but heavily myelinated nerves are also present for pressure, vibration and fine touch, etc. The cutaneous receptors are mainly A delta fibers, which are myelinated, and non-myelinated C fibers. Now, the first type of cutaneous receptor is mechanoreceptors. These are mainly A delta fibers and C fibers, which include Merkel's disc, Meissner's corpuscles, Ruffini's end bulb, Krause's end bulbs, and naked nerve endings. These are responsible for sensation of touch, pressure, vibration, 2-point discrimination, fine touch, etc. Then comes the pain receptors, which are responsible for sensation of pain. The pain may be due to any nauseous stimuli, means which causes damage to the body. This act as alarm or warning for the stimulus causing dangerous effect on the body. Then comes thermoreceptors. Thermoreceptors consist of cold and warm receptors. Cold receptors are A delta fibers which are myelinated. Cold receptors work even above 45 to 50 degrees Celsius of the temperature, while the warm receptors are C unmyelinated fibers which becomes dysfunctional above 45 degrees. First, we will see the basic structure of receptors so as to understand the electrical and ionic events in the receptor. So, this is the receptor. This is the unmyelinated nerve ending of sensory nerve. This is the connective tissue capsule or lamella of the receptor, and this is the sensory nerve which is delivering information to the central nervous system. Then about the electrical and ionic events in the receptors, that is how the electrical impulse is generated in the receptor so that it could be delivered to the central nervous system. When a small intensity stimulus, that is subthreshold stimulus, is applied, it gives rise to a local electrical potential which is non-propagated. Such local electrical and non-propagated potential is called as generator potential or receptor potential. As we increase the intensity of stimulus, the magnitude of receptor potential also increases, like this. Finally, when we apply a stimulus of threshold intensity, a generator potential of about 10 millivolt is generated, and 10 millivolt is the firing level for the action potential to get generated. Thus, when we apply a threshold stimulus, the generator potential stimulates the unmyelinated nerve ending to generate the action potential or simply sensory nerve impulse. Thus, the threshold stimulus, when applied to the receptor, gives rise to the generator potential or receptor potential of about 10 millivolt, which is the firing level for action potential to get generated. Thus, the generator potential stimulates the unmyelinated nerve ending to produce an action potential or electrical impulse which travels along the sensory nerve and get finally delivered to the sensory central nerve. Now we will briefly learn about the properties of receptors. There are 5 main properties of the receptors. The first one being the law of adequate stimulus. This includes that the receptors respond maximally and efficiently only when an appropriate and maximum or threshold kind of stimulus is applied. The receptors in special sense organs are mainly adapted to respond to even a lowest intensity of stimulus so that it can be pursued and sensed very precisely. For example, the rods and cones of retina are specialized so that they can respond and create sensory impulse even in least intensity of light. The second is adaptation or accommodation. It includes the malfunctioning or dysfunctioning of sensory nerve fiber on constant frequency of action potentials traveling through the afferent pathway. Muller's doctrine of specific nerve energies. This is concerned with the differentiation of sensation. Like mainly the perception of sensation depends upon the area of sensory cortex which is innervated by the sensory nerve. That is, if the sensory nerve is innervating the occipital lobe, there it produces the sensation of vision. Then the law of projection. Law of projection is that no matter where the sensory nerve is stimulated, the sensation is pursued in the central nervous system. And finally, the law of intensity discrimination. We can discriminate the intensity of stimulus. This intensity discrimination is mainly due to the change in frequency of action potential and not in the change in the amplitude of action potential. That is, the intensity discrimination is mainly due to the change in frequency of action potential and not due to the changes in amplitude of action potential. The amplitude of action potential remains same in all nerve fibers. Thus, the intensity is discriminated in the brain. That is, the heavy pain is discriminated from the dull pain mainly due to the changes in frequency of action potentials generated. So, this was all about the receptors. We learned about the classification, introduction, definition, ionic and electrical events taking place in receptors, and finally the properties of receptors. Thank you.